Dear students, today we are going to see a new lesson, chemical reaction and equation. In class 9, you have studied that how a chemical formula can be written with the help of the symbol valency of the atom in the compound. Am I right? Well, in today's session, we are going to see what is a chemical reaction, how can we observe or how can we find out a chemical reaction has taken place. Let me say some of the examples. Formation of curd, formation of brown layer on iron articles, the food what we cook, the food what we eat, and what we respire. In all these cases, we could have noticed that some changes have occurred. For example, in the case of formation of curd, its taste is changed. Is it? After formation of curd, it is in sour taste. On the top of iron articles, color is changed. And the food what we eat, gas is evolved. That means carbon dioxide. And also, while respiration, nature of the gas is changed. Is it? So, when can we say a chemical reaction has taken place? When a chemical chain occurs, we can say that a chemical reaction has taken place. Okay, how can we find out? Or what are the observations? Some are there. As I told you, in the case of curd, taste changed. In some case, gas is evolved, color is changed, and in some cases, temperature will be increased. Let us see it with the help of some examples. Now let us see the first example for chemical reaction. A small piece of magnesium is taken. It should be cleaned with the help of sandpaper. Why it should be cleaned? Because there is a chance of forming its oxide on the top of magnesium metal. So, it should be cleaned with the sandpaper. What will happen if it is not clean? It will not react with oxygen or any other substances. That is the reason it should be cleaned with the sandpaper. Okay, a piece of magnesium ribbon is burned. While burning, it is reacting with oxygen and give magnesium oxide. Okay. While burning magnesium, we can observe two things. First one, it burns with white dazzling flame. White dazzling flame it burns with. And second observation, white powder of magnesium oxide is formed. Okay, in this case, how can we find out a chemical reaction has taken place? Magnesium ribbon is a grey color solid substance. After burning, it forms magnesium oxide. It is white color powder. Here, color is changed. Okay. Now, let us see the second example. Let nitrate. Formula PbNO3. And it is added with potassium iodide Ki. K is potassium, I is iodine, potassium iodide. After adding potassium iodide to lead nitrate, there is a formation of yellow color precipitate, that is lead iodide. Lead, Pb is lead, I is iodine, lead iodide is formed and potassium nitrate is formed. Okay, here which observation is noticed? That means here precipitate is formed. What is precipitate? A precipitate is just like a curd. Have you seen curd? Actually, it is not in the form of liquid form. That is precipitate. And in this case, zinc is taken. Zinc is a metal, Zn, and it is added with hydrochloric acid, and after adding there is a evolution of gas, hydrogen, and zinc chloride is formed. Okay, what observation is here? Here gas is evolved. And one more case, suppose if water is added to quicklime. Quicklime is none other than the powder what we use for whitewashing. You could have seen after adding water to that powder, the temperature will be increased. So here there is a change in temperature. And also suppose take ice cube water, it is in its solid form. When it is heated, it will be changed into water in the liquid form. Here state is changed. So how can we find out a chemical reaction takes place? These are some observations. First one, change in state, change in color, evolution of gas, and change in temperature. With these observations, we can understand a chemical reaction has taken place. Hope you understood. The next one we are going to see is chemical equation. What's a chemical equation means? It is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Okay. For example, let us see magnesium. For example, if I am writing magnesium with oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Is it? Here it is a reaction, so it is represented in the form of some symbols. So instead of writing everything in word, we are using the symbol of the elements while writing the equation. That's why suppose magnesium means you can write it with Mg, oxygen you can write it with O2, and it forms MgO. So chemical equation means a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Okay. In a chemical reaction, the substances which are taking part in the reaction. Here, which are the substances are taking part in the reaction? Magnesium and oxygen. So, these are called reactants. That means the substance which are present in the left side of the equation. They are reactants. The substance which is formed after the reaction called product. If two are there means products. So the substance which is formed after the reaction, it should be written on the right side of the equation. Okay, the plus symbol indicates reacting with one to another, and this arrow mark indicate it gives. Okay, This is the way of writing the chemical equation. Now, suppose we have to mention while writing a chemical equation, what is its state also you have to mention. For example, look here, zinc. It is a solid and is a metal. So, you have to write its symbol with solid. Hydrochloric is an acid, is it? So, you have to write with liquid. And after reacting, it is formed, this is in the form of aqueous. So, what is aqueous means? The substance which is in solution form. And gas should be mentioned either like this or it should be shown like this. That means this symbol indicates it is going up. Since gas is the lighter substance, it is moving up. Suppose in the second equation, let us see into lead nitrate. It is taken in the form of aqueous. That means lead nitrate is dissolved in water, and potassium iodide also in aqueous form. And here it is giving aqueous result, and this lead iodide is a precipitate. As I told you earlier, it should be mentioned like this because it is settled down. So, these are the symbols should be used while writing a chemical equation. Okay, in this case, you look into magnesium is a metal, it is a solid. Oxygen is a gas, so you are putting G. And now it is formed in the form of white powder, that is also solid. Okay, this is the way of writing a chemical equation. While writing the chemical equation, it should be mentioned their state. And if it is heated means on the top of the arrow mark, it should be mentioned. Suppose we are using heat means heat. Here we apply heat. So, heat, it should be mentioned. Then only the equation is correct. Now, let us see one more thing. Suppose, what is a skeletal equation and why a chemical equation to be balanced? I am taking the first example. Magnesium is reacting with oxygen and gives magnesium oxide. Is it? Here I have to mention the state. This is solid and this is gas and it is heat. Then it is formed powder. This is a solid form. Now, according to law of conservation of mass, the total number of atoms present in the reactant should be equal to the substance in the product. Then only the equation is correct. Here, you look into magnesium, one atom is there. In reactant side, in product side, one. Okay, both are correct. Now look into oxygen, 2 atoms of oxygen. Here only one oxygen, is it? So this side more and this side is less. If the equation is not balanced or otherwise the number of atoms in the reactant is not equal to number of atoms in the product, that equation is called skeletal equation. Skeletal equation. Okay. That means the unbalanced equation is called skeletal equation. It should be balanced. Why? According to law of conservation of mass, the number of atoms in the reactant should be equal to number of atoms in the products. Okay. Look here. Once again, I am writing that equation. Mg plus O2 gives MgO. Mg balance, oxygen this side more and this side less, is it? So, I have to make this oxygen as 2. So, while adding the number or to change the or balancing, we have to insert the number only in front of the compound or elements. We should not write here or here. That's the first point you have to note down. So I am writing 2 here. Now this 2 is common for magnesium as well as oxygen. So 2 magnesium and 2 oxygen is there. Okay, oxygen is balanced. Now what about magnesium? Magnesium this side more and this side less, is it? So you have to make this magnesium 2. If you are putting 2, look here now, 2 magnesium, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. Now this is balanced equation. I am giving one more example. Hydrogen is H2, oxygen is O2. We know that it gives water. Here also you look into hydrogen 2, it is balanced. But what about oxygen? Here 2, there 1. So you have to make this oxygen 2. As I told you, you should not write 2 here. Okay, if you are writing 2 here means it will be changed into another compound. Suppose if you are putting 2 here means H2O2 is hydrogen peroxide, it is not water. So you should not insert any number here or here. You have to put always in front of the compound. So I am putting 2 here. So now this 2 is common for hydrogen as well as oxygen. So 2 oxygen balance. Now what about hydrogen? Here 2. So this one you have to multiply. That means 2 into 2, 4. But this side only 2. How will you make 2 into 4? If you are putting 2 this side, now it is 4, is it? Now the equation is balanced. Now another one I am writing. N2 plus H2. N2 is nitrogen, H2 is hydrogen, and it forms ammonia. It is NH3. Look here, nitrogen 2, nitrogen 1. This side less. And here hydrogen is 2, here hydrogen is 3, that side more. So what shall we do? So let us see first. Let us try with nitrogen. Nitrogen this side 2, isn't? So you are putting nitrogen this side 2. Now nitrogen is balanced. What about hydrogen? 2 into 3. That means hydrogen this side 6. Actually this side it is only 2. So how will you make 2 as 6? If you are multiplying 2 with 3, now it will be 6. Am I right? Yes. 3 into 2, 6. And here also 2 into 3, it is 6. Now it is a balanced equation. Okay, dear students, today we have discussed what is a chemical reaction and what are the observation of a chemical reaction and what is a chemical equation and how it should be represented and how can we balance a chemical equation. Hope you understood.